Hey everybody, it's Jeff here with Entrepreneur Essentials once again. I've got my friend Julie here, and she is going to be talking a little bit about her business today, just like we always do on Fridays. And once again, you know, we want to know more and more about different businesses, and if you want to learn about them, right down below me is our subscription button. Make sure you click on that make sure you click on it. Because as soon as these things are going to come out, you're going to get an email letting you know, and you don't want to miss any because we do a lot of extra ones now. We don't just do one show a week. So Julie,
yes,
tell me a bit about your entrepreneurial journey.
The entire journey, or just what I'm doing now?
Tell me, yeah. What you want to say?
I think it probably goes all the way back to my childhood, but we won't go back that far because we'd be sitting here for probably an hour. But I would say a lot of what I've done throughout my life has gotten me to this point. And, you know, I'm constantly having ideas, but I think one of the problems is the idea that I have. It's how do you go? How do you make sure that you're doing it legally, that you're not stepping on someone else's toes or infringing on somebody else's idea? And kind of how does the whole package come together and just come out without knowing all the background, the legalities? So there was a business that I did start from the ground up, but it's kind of a been there, done that thing for 3 years in time. So what I'm doing now was perfect for me because it was a small investment for just immediate business. So I have an online skincare business with Rodan Fields, and it is, you know, the minute that I sign up, I have a website, I have a back office, I have training, I have just an amazing network of people that are here to help me and ready to go. And so this, I think, it sort of found me when I was, well, okay, I'm backing up. This is what I always do. I think it frustrates my husband. Or actually, I shouldn't say I think, I know it does.
Yeah, it does. Yeah.
All right, so coming out of college, was a teacher, math teacher, middle school for 7 years. And ended up being able to stay home with my boys that I have that are 13 and 11. So during that time, did a few things here and there, which is when I did start the business from the ground up. But moving forward, it was kind of, okay, now both of my kids are in elementary school. I feel like I have some time. I want to do something. I want to contribute financially and also feel like I'm accomplishing something because I'm not a very good homemaker. I'm just going to put that out there. I can cook a little bit. People might smile just to be nice. It's probably not that good. But as far as keeping the house, it's not my forte. So I went, and it's a long journey to where I got, but I was in mortgage. Okay. I was a mortgage loan originator, and so I was networking to build that business, and at the same time looking for something to really help me grow old gracefully, because I was getting older, a few wrinkles here and there, and you know, just not so friendly smiling back at me in the mirror. So at a networking lunch, I met another lady, and that was Lori O'Connell. And you know, I had my agenda to meet people and just kind of see how I can help them and where I fit in their life, and if that could maybe bring referrals. And she had hers the same way, and lo and behold, she had skincare. So growing old gracefully sounds good. And since I had done some other entrepreneurial things leading up to this, I didn't really have to think twice about it. It just made sense. I was getting the best deal on the products. I'd have everything to use and kind of see where that took me, and so here I am. Yeah. I don't know, almost 4 years later. Okay. So talk a little bit about that journey, because you know, and this is another thing that we've talked about, and we've had a couple folks on the show that have really talked about
the network marketing industry, and how a lot of people get into things and they try 18 different network marketing things and they're not successful at any of them.
Right.
What is, from your point of view, what are some of the success points that have helped you to be successful at this?
You have to put in the work.
Yeah.
Yes. So, and I'll just put it out there, I definitely have hobbied, or I did hobby for about 3 years.
Okay.
I'd say for about the last 7 or 8 months is when it just really clicked for me that I felt like I was spending a lot of time working my business, and I wasn't necessarily seeing the results on the back end. And when it came down to it, really looking at it, I wasn't really working my business. I was talking to people, but really just having fun, I guess, and not really looking at the numbers, not really making sure that I'm having those intentional conversations every day, and that I'm, following up with people, and just the organization and the actual intention was not there. So I would say that, that's, as far as being successful, you have to definitely have a goal in mind and go backwards, work backwards from your goal, and figure out how many people should I be talking to in order to reach this goal.
Sure. Well, and I think that, and looking at, okay, how many of those people I'm talking to are converting.
Sure.
And looking at the numbers. You said it right there, and it's come out multiple times. One of the questions that I hear a lot of times when we talk about, mistakes I made and all that is, I didn't know my numbers.
Right.
And that's the killer of all businesses. If you don't know your numbers,
yeah, definitely,
you just can't live.
No, true.
So talk a little bit about now, how do you work with clients?
Well, in the beginning, it's just figuring out what is their main concern.
Okay.
They have a skin concern, whether it be sun damage or just wrinkles and loss of firmness, or acne or sensitive skin, and getting them started with what's going to work for them at this point, their biggest concern. Once we've addressed the biggest concern and they feel satisfied with that, then we talk about other ways or other things they can add in to really help, just to kind of make the skin feel supple with hydration, and just everyday exfoliating, and moving on. How do I work with them? I help them get started by helping them place their order, figure out what's right for them, and then check in after a little while they've been using it, make sure that they don't have questions, or that I can address any that they do have. And then just ongoing, checking in and helping to make sure that A, they don't run out of product, and B, that they're just really happy with what I'm doing for them, and what the products are doing.
I'm guessing kind of trying to tweak it a little bit to say, okay, well, here's some things you can do now.
Of course.
You got past level 1, now it's level 2. We got to tweak some other things.
Right, exactly.
Wonderful. So how do people then get to the point that, like you did, that say, well, I kind of I would like to have a business. How do they do that?
Well, I think there's a couple of ways. I mean, the first is obvious, where they see the opportunity from the very beginning, and they know they're driven, and they know that they want the best deal on the products, so they're going to join as a consultant. But B, they see that they're the type of person that's going to go out and do something with it. Secondly, there's starting as a preferred customer and using the products and getting compliments from other people on the change in their skin, or just the change in their own confidence, and their just feeling like they feel good about going out into the world because they can feel a difference and see a difference. Those people, may have people that they end up starting to refer to me, and at that point it becomes kind of silly. Why wouldn't I, do this and have my own products paid for at the same time, instead of giving this over to someone else? So,
absolutely.
Yeah.
So what are some new things going on in your business now?
Well, some new things I'm doing since I stopped hobbying. One of the things I'm passionate about education, which is, how I kind of started this whole life. Right. And so what I've really decided is that we're not a party company where we're required to host parties, but I really feel like it's just a great way to get people to touch and feel and, you know, talk about and be educated on the products and the company, to host events. And so I have started hosting events. I'm going to be doing them at least once a month, but maybe twice. I'm actually hosting tonight.
Nice.
I invited everyone in the group to come.
You're all welcome to come.
Yes.
Now this will be after the event, but I mean,
know, but
you're welcome
okay.
to come. So.
So I think that, you know, just moving forward, educating people.
Okay.
I have, for example, I would say, well, I have 4 friends that I consider to be my best friends, you know, as far as just in my neighborhood, and we bounce ideas off of each other. And one of them was using one product that we had. Another one was using a regimen, and the other 2 weren't using anything at all. And really, I got to the point where I said, you know, I'm not really even sure if they understand what I'm doing, or, you know, have I avoided telling my very best friends because I feel like they know me so well and they know what I'm doing. So I went to them and really just laid it out and said, you know what, I know you all love me. I know that you want to support me. This really is my business. This is what I'm doing to make money and contribute to my family. And so, you know, these are the things you can do for me. And one of those is come to an event that I'm having and just be educated. Let me share with you. It doesn't mean that you need to buy something. And that's really what I want to convey to everyone is there's no pressure ever.
Yeah.
It's not for everyone. It may be for them, it may not. But if you don't know, you don't know. So I don't remember what your question was, but I feel like...
You answered it perfectly. No, you answered it perfectly.
I feel like I went off on something, and I'm not sure if we were there.
You answered the question that I said, which was, you know, okay, how did, you know, what's new going on? And, you know, you're creating parties.
Educating.
Yeah, I mean, educating, yet sort of using what you know best, which is to educate.
And really just trying to, I think with the events, I feel like it kind of gives a memory for everyone. I want to be their go-to person. I want to be, if they're in conversation with someone, to, you know, think of me. Remember being at my house and say, oh, you know, let me connect you with my friend. And so that's...
Well, and I think the other part is you're trying to educate without shoving product down.
Absolutely. And that's never the...
And it's never the way to
you
do
have,
it.
But I want to put this out there because you do have to be direct, and, you know, people are going to take things the way that they take things. Some people, you know, might be upset if you ask them a direct question or whatever else, but please know, I'm never coming from a place of trying to shove anything. It's just if I don't ask, neither one of us ever knows, and so that's part of
the
running
biggest
a
part
business.
Of it. Well, it's part of sales.
Yeah,
if you don't ask for it, it ain't going to happen. So
Absolutely.
It's plain and simple.
Right.
All right, fast 5 questions now.
Oh, okay.
Ready?
Yes.
All right. You wake up in the morning.
Right.
Business is totally gone. You have $500 in your pocket, laptop, computer, place to live. What would you do first?
Oh, I have a place to live?
You have a place to
I
live.
didn't
You don't
know
even have to worry about that
I
part.
didn't know that. I was thinking, I was like, what am I going to do?
Yeah.
Okay, great. I have a place to live. So I'm doing it all over again.
Okay.
Yes. I love this. And okay, part of this business is, and anyone who's talked to me about it has heard me say this, but working, and I cannot speak for any other company except for the one that I'm in right now, but working in this company, the people that I am surrounded by, that's the one thing I really did not expect, to really feel so connected and have such great friends coming out of this. And it's kind of like you walk into a room with 100 people, you interview all of them, and you get to hire the 5 best people in the group for whatever it is you're looking for at that time. You know, whether it be you want people that are confident or people that are supportive or motivated or whatever it is. And you do that 1,000 times over, and you get the 5% of everything you want out of every single group of 100 people. That's who I feel like I'm working with.
Which is awesome.
So I would do it all over again.
I love it. What's your biggest entrepreneurial mistake that you've made?
Okay, so it is a mistake, but it's sort of like a lesson learned and a been there, done that thing. with the business that I started from the ground up. So my husband and I both graduated from Texas A&M.
Okay.
So we have a lot of pride, obviously. I think Aggies in general do.
You're in enemy territory here.
Right,
Yeah.
that's okay. But I think a lot of people feel that way they associate with something, whether it be a professional sports team or a college sports team, or there's something that you associate with where you feel, proud and you want to support it. So anyway, when our first son was born, we were looking for something. Of course, you start off early, right? You got to put them in the clothes.
Yep.
Okay, but we wanted something that was just plain. It's very traditional at A&M, and I just was looking for a block ATM logo on a white onesie. It was so simple, and I couldn't find it nowhere.
Okay.
Or I couldn't find it anywhere, but it was nowhere. So I just kept researching, and at the time, of course, I ended up just buying some pajamas that were Aggie pajamas, and we brought him home in that. But I said, I can't be the only person looking for this. I just can't.
A lot of people have graduated from A&M.
I'm telling you, So I researched, and I started, got collegiate licensing. I took a sewing class, bought a sewing machine, started making baby blankets and embellishing toddler clothing and selling these little onesies, and actually got them into the bookstore on campus and had some great success. But I think the downfall was my timing, because I had a baby and then I had another baby, and I really at the time I wasn't able to really market it the way that I wanted to, and so it sort of fizzled. I went to coaches nights and festivals and had an online portion as well, and did well, but I couldn't grow it big in the moment. And so once I had that time freedom back, because my kids were a little older and I felt okay leaving them, in daycare or with a sitter or something, it had passed. So the fire was not there anymore, So I would say that just the planning, the timing and the planning was my biggest downfall, but it was just a lesson learned. I've been there, done
sometimes
that
it's just the right time, and sometimes it isn't. And you made a little bit of money out of it to begin with.
Well, and it was fun. Now, I still have some things, though, in the garage.
So if anybody's looking for some from Texas A&M stuff,
I did donate a bunch, though, to a women's, because I had maternity clothing, too, and I donated to a place in Georgetown that has like I wish I knew the name. I'd say it and give them a shout out. But anyway. Yeah,
everybody's wearing Aggie clothes
exactly.
there. Yeah, it's awesome. So is there a book that you would recommend for an entrepreneur?
Okay, so the name of the book is Get Over Your Damn Self by Romy Neustadt. She is a no frills, no BS kind of gal. Okay. And you know what? That's really, I think, the attitude you have to have in a network marketing business. And so it's a must read, at least for me. Awesome. It put the fire.
Yeah,
so,
put the fire back in you and got you going where you're at.
For sure.
What's a good tool that you use in your business? And it could be an electronic tool, it could be a paper one.
Okay. And I wish I knew the name. It's something that I use every day. And actually, Lori O'Connell, my sponsor, gave it to me. It is an organizer, and I'm a pencil and paper kind of gal. Not pen. I have to have pencil.
Yeah, we discussed that before.
I know.
And not just a real pencil.
It's got to be a real pencil. I don't know if that's the math part of me or not, but anyway. It's just an organizer, and what I love about it is the sections that it has, and one of the sections is 5 before 11, so just accomplishing 5 tasks before 11 a.m. because at that point you feel already so accomplished. I feel like there's so much firing every day in my mind, just back and forth, and I guess Darren Hardy, I watch his videos every morning. And one of the things he says is not to just make a to-do list, but instead write down what you're actually going to do
To accomplish.
and put it in time slots. You know, at 8 o'clock I'm going to do this, at 9 o'clock I'm going to do this. If you're very specific and you have it so organized that you've already told yourself you've got to do this, so okay, get it done.
If it's a support, just put it in your calendar as if it's an appointment, and it'll get done.
It's so true, because my to-do list is exactly what he said. Everything would just get shifted to the next day because something else would become priority.
Well, it's what's referred to as Parkinson's law. The amount of the complication of any project is completely tantamount to the amount of time that you've assigned to that project.
Okay.
So the more time you have, the more complicated it becomes, and
which is really difficult, or really, I should say, terrible for a person like me. I'm working on it, but I feel like I have to do things a certain way, so that could be bad. You know, the more I think about something, just
why
let it go.
Just
get it done.
That time, okay, block it out, and you only have an hour to do it.
Yes.
So how would somebody get a hold of you, Julie?
They would either call.
Okay.
And do I give my phone number?
If you want.
Okay.
Or website, or whatever you want to use. Okay.
Well, they could call me, 512-680-9817, or they can email at howdyjulie@gmail.com, and that's howdy like Aggies say.
It's a given. I get this.
Okay. Well, those are pretty much the two ways to reach me.
Fantastic.
Okay.
Well, thank you so much.
Thank you.
For coming out today.
I appreciate it.
Wonderful.
I really do.
Folks, look at this lady and see that somebody who's been very successful, didn't start off that way, but she figured it out as soon as she could, and is really growing a business, and it doesn't always have to be something we start from absolute ground zero. There's a lot of great opportunities out there that are already pre-made, whether it's a franchise, whether it's a network marketing business. But the difference is you've just got to make sure that if you're going to do that, you do treat it like a business.
Yes.
And it is a business. Otherwise, it's just a hobby that you're wasting some money on, and you're going and having lunch with people.
Exactly. Which that's kind of fun too, but if you're actually looking to make money, you've got to get beyond that.
Kind of have to actually get to the pay me money part.
Right.
So thanks a lot, folks. Thanks for coming out once again. Remember, right down here is the subscription button. Make sure you do that, and we will see you here next week.
Thank you.